You are living the one and only life you were ever meant to. Every step you've taken was predetermined, leading you irreversibly to this moment. It's a story we all tell ourselves. But according to the fundamental laws of quantum physics, that story is an illusion. The truth is, for every single choice you've ever made, a different version of you made the opposite one. Right now, they are living a completely different life in a universe that is just as real as this one. You are not one person on a single path. You are countless possibilities, all happening at once. So, if there are infinite yous, who is the real you? Are you just a random copy? Or are you the one in charge? By the end of this journey, you will see this moment, you, right here, right now, completely differently. You will understand the incredible power you hold to shape your reality. This isn't just about other universes. This is about why this one, your life, matters more than you can imagine. Let's begin where all realities branch out, a single moment of choice. The superposition of you. Think about the last trivial choice you made, coffee or tea, left turn or right. It felt insignificant, right? But for a moment, before you decided, you were in two places at once. Not physically, but in the most real mathematical sense possible. You were in a state called quantum superposition. You've probably heard of Schrödinger's cat, the thought experiment where a cat in a box is both alive and dead until you look. We often use it to mock quantum weirdness, but we should use it to understand our own lives, because before you act, you are Schrödinger's you. That difficult conversation you need to have, in the state of your reality's wave function, you have both already had it and avoided it. Both futures are 100% real, existing as overlapping probabilities, waiting for a single thing to make them solid. So what makes one reality win? The same thing that collapses the cat's fate: observation. The moment you act, the moment you send that text, say that word, or make that turn, you force the universe's hand. You reach into the cloud of all possible yous and you pull out the one you're going to live with. This is the Copenhagen interpretation in a nutshell. Reality doesn't become real until it is observed. Your consciousness is the catalyst. Your choice is the collapse. Now your classical brain might be screaming, but that's just in my head. The other option just disappears. But does it? Or does it simply branch away? The many worlds interpretation proposes a breathtaking answer. When the wave function collapses, it doesn't vanish, it divides. The version of you that took the left turn drives on, and the version of you that took the right turn also drives on, in a universe that just split from this one. So, that feeling of the road not taken, it's not a metaphor, it's a physical reality. You just aren't living in it. This means that right now you are standing at the center of an infinite number of possible futures. The you that you are is just the one that decided to watch this video in this universe. But what about all those other yous? Are they strangers? Or are you connected in a way we can't yet see? What if those gut feelings, those moments of déjà vu, are hints? But that's a connection we'll explore a little later. For now, just sit with this. You are not a single, static being. You are a cloud of potential. You are a choice that is always being made. The ripple of decoherence. So you've made a choice. You've collapsed your wave function. The version of you that spoke up exists, and the one that stayed silent, well, we'll get to them. But what happens next? How does that single decision go from being a fragile, newly born reality to the solid ground you walk on? This is where the magic and the math of quantum decoherence comes in. Think of it like this. The moment after your choice is a single, perfect pebble dropped into a still pond. That pebble is your decision. And the instant it hits the water, it sends out ripples. Not just one, but an expanding circle of consequences. That first ripple might be the reaction on your boss's face. The next ripple is the promotion you get 6 months later. The ripple after that is the new city you move to for that job. Each ripple interacts with the environment, locking in the consequences of that initial pebble. This is decoherence. It's the process where the fuzzy quantum possibilities, the both and, get tangled up with the world around them and are forced to pick a side. The quantum weirdness doesn't disappear, it just leaks out, interacting with billions of other particles until what you're left with feels normal, classical, like the only reality that could ever happen. Your brain is wired to see this solidified path and call it destiny. It looks back and says, well, of course I took that job, it led me here. But that's an illusion. It's the retro-causality of hindsight tricking you. You're not looking at a single train track that was always there. You're looking at the wake of the ship you sailed and mistaking it for the only ocean. Let's make it personal. Remember that sliding doors moment? The train you just barely caught? In your reality, that ripple led you to meeting the love of your life on that platform. But in the branch universe where you tripped over a curb and missed it, a different you is living a different set of ripples. They might have met someone else or had a crucial, life-changing conversation with a stranger on the next train. Both were equally possible, but decoherence is what makes your version feel so real, so permanent, so classical. It's the universe's way of making sure realities don't get their wires crossed. But here's the question this raises, the one that keeps physicists up at night. If every choice branches and every branch is real, what connects them? Are these other yous just distant copies, or is there a deeper, more fundamental link? A connection that might explain why you sometimes feel a sudden, unexplainable certainty, or a pang of regret for a choice you never even made? That feeling, that's not just nostalgia. That might be the most profound clue we have. The entangled selves. So now we have this breathtaking but lonely picture, an infinite number of yous living infinite lives separated by the unbridgeable ripples of decoherence, copies in a cosmic library forever on different shelves. But what if that's not the whole story? What if there's a connection, a thread that runs through the multiverse, tying these versions of you together? To understand how, we need to meet the universe's ultimate long-distance relationship, quantum entanglement. This is the strange phenomenon where two particles are linked so profoundly that whatever happens to one instantly happens to the other, no matter if they're a millimeter or a million light years apart. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance because it defies our classical intuition about space and time. Now, let's scale this up. If particles can be entangled, what about probabilities? What about experiences? What about yous? Think of that sudden, unexplainable gut feeling you had that made you cancel your plans, or that bolt of inspiration for a solution to a problem you hadn't even been thinking about. What if these aren't just random neurological flickers? What if they are faint, non-local correlations, quantum whispers from the lives of your other selves? Imagine the version of you that took that risk we talked about earlier, the one who started the company. That you is entangled with the you who played it safe. When the entrepreneur you fails and learns a brutal, costly lesson about resilience, that experience isn't locked away. It resonates, and maybe, just maybe, a ghost of that lesson echoes across the probability space, arriving in your mind as a sudden, deep-seated caution about a deal that seems too good to be true. You'd feel it as intuition, a hunch. You'd call it wisdom, without knowing where it came from. This is the transactional interpretation of quantum mechanics as not a communication channel, but as a resonant network. It suggests that all possible versions of an event are in contact. It's a web of potential, where the experiences of one branch can subtly influence the probabilities of another. Now, I can hear the skeptic. That's just giving a quantum name to coincidence and pattern seeking. But isn't the reverse also true? What if our deepest instincts, our most powerful déjà vu, our uncanny talents for things we've never tried, are the evidence? What if our classical minds are simply rationalizing away the spooky action of our own entangled existence? This changes everything. It means you are not just a single isolated point. You are a node in a vast, whispering network of selves. The version of you that is a brilliant pianist, the one that speaks 10 languages, the one that is a fearless explorer, their experiences aren't lost to you. They are the silent partners in your consciousness, the source of the strengths you can't explain and the fears you can't place. You are not a solitary wave crashing on a shore. You are the entire ocean experiencing itself one drop at a time. And if that's true, then the biggest question becomes, who is the one doing the experiencing? What is the fundamental you that can feel these echoes across reality itself? The answer to that lies in the final and most personal collapse. The observer and the infinite library. We've journeyed through superposition, witnessed the ripples of decoherence, and felt the whispers of our entangled selves. Now we arrive at the most profound question of all. Who is at the center of this? If there are infinite versions of you, what is the fundamental you that is hearing these words right now? The answer brings us back to the very heart of quantum theory, to the Copenhagen interpretation. It states a simple, universe-altering fact. Reality only solidifies when it is observed. The particle doesn't choose a position until you measure it. You have been thinking of yourself as a book in an infinite library, written by chance. But you are not the book. You are the librarian. Your conscious attention, your focus, your intention, your choices is not a passive recording of events. It is an active force that collapses the wave function of your life. Every time you make a choice, you're not just selecting a path, you are authoring it into existence from a fog of probability. Think of the double-slit experiment. When we don't observe which slit a particle goes through, it behaves like a wave, going through both, existing in a state of potential. The moment we set up a detector to observe it, it collapses into a single definite particle. Your life is that experiment running on a loop every second of every day. The universe presents you with countless slits, countless paths. Your focused consciousness is the detector. The moment you commit, the moment you bring your full awareness to a decision, you collapse the wave of what could be into the particle of what is. This is the ultimate quantum leap. It's the realization that you are not a passenger on a train track of a predetermined destiny. You are the driver and the train and the tracks being laid down in real time by the very act of your journey. This reframes everything. That anxiety of choosing wrong, it vanishes, because there is no wrong branch in an infinite library. There are only branches. Your mission is not to find the one perfect story. Your purpose is to pour your love, your curiosity, your passion into this one, to observe it so fully, to live it so completely that it collapses into the most vivid, meaningful reality possible. The other versions of you are out there, living their stories, feeling their own echoes. But this reality, with all its unique joy and pain, is yours to witness. You are the universe experiencing itself, as Carl Sagan said, but you are also the universe choosing itself. You are the observer. You are the author. You are the librarian, and this entire, magnificent, infinite library is yours to explore. We began with a question that might have felt like science fiction. Who is the real you among the many? We saw your life not as a single path, but as an infinite library of stories. Now you know the truth. You were never just a book on a shelf. You are the librarian. Your consciousness, your attention, your choices, your very presence here is the force that takes the blur of every possibility and collapses it into the sharp, vivid reality you call your life. The other yous are not your competition, they are your counsel of wisdom, the source of your intuition, but you are the one who gets to make the final decision. So what does this mean for you today? It means that gut feeling you have is a quantum echo. That moment of déjà vu is a ripple from a life you're also living. And the anxiety of choosing wrong, it vanishes, because there is no single wrong path in an infinite universe, only the path you choose to author with your fullest intention. This leads to a question you couldn't have even understood before this journey. If you are the author of your reality, what story will you write tomorrow? This is just the first layer of the quantum rabbit hole. What is the source of this consciousness that can collapse reality? How deep does the entanglement truly go? If you're ready to explore these spiraling questions, you don't belong in an audience of passive viewers. You belong here, with us, in a community of entangled thinkers, collapsing new realities together. Subscribe now, because our next journey will challenge the very nature of what you are. You are not just living a story. You are the reason it exists.